Greetings, dear friends. Hello, dear viewers, and welcome on ALLATRA TV India on our live conversation. So, as usually, we are gathering today to make our common research on how we can build a world worthy of a human to live in, where all people in the world will be united by one goal, such as creative society, where we'll be able to overcome anything, but only together. So, dear viewers, more information you can find about the creative society on our website, allatraunites.com.
Yeah, and I'm very happy to introduce our very esteemed guest, Tarang Jain. She's a founder of Artiste360 and a teacher at Sunflower Nursery School. So very creative person, as we can understand. And we are going to talk about a very interesting topic, creative society. So welcome, Ms. Tarang. And our first question to you is that you're related to the sphere of education, to the creative sphere of education, so to say. So why did you choose this sphere? And what inspires and motivates you in your professional work and in your life in general?
Thank you, Tatiana. Thank you, Anna, for having me today. So what inspired me to start Artist 360 was the journey with my daughter, who was artistically inclined and always knew that she'll be going to art college eventually. So finding mentor and finding teachers for her was very challenging, and whatever existed was not enough for her to build an art portfolio to apply to art colleges. So that's why the whole idea began. That's the time I realized that there is no one place I can go to where she can benefit from the art programs and create her art portfolio to apply to these art colleges. And otherwise also children, especially in grade 9, 10th, 11th, 12th, when they're inclined towards art, I found out there is not enough source of help to sort of upgrade their art skills. So that was the reason that how this Artist 360 came up, and how from starting with few courses at the beginning of it, and now we have many programs that can benefit many people around the world. So I would say what inspires me are the people around me. The first people were my parents, who always were always helping anybody and everybody. And last conversation that I had with my father also, the only thing he wants to tell me and teach me that help anybody and everybody, especially people you don't know. You should always go out and help. So that's the teaching that he's always instills in us. And whenever I'm talking to him, he will never ask me, how are you doing? He will ask me about everybody else around me. How is everybody else doing? So I think the whole concept that if everybody around you is happy and well, you are happy and well. I think that's the lesson that he's trying to teach me. And it matches with the theory that creative society is trying to reach out to.
Yeah, right. So, as you're working in this creative sphere and with people around you who particularly they inspire you for your work, for your creativity. So, what is the role of art in the society to your mind?
So my role in so art plays a role of being creative. I think art is directly means being creative, being able to reflect through a piece of art what you think. It could be a form of dance, it could be painting, it could be a film. It's basically reflecting who you are. And I think being creative is the future, because anything else that you learn, you see that machine, the technology is taking it up. But creativity is something that humans can give to the society. So I think art plays the most important role at this point of time, because that's
And
the future. That's the future of learning. That's something machines cannot do. What humans can do in form of creation, like how you are creating a society. It's creation through humans.
yes.
A machine cannot do that. You tell, so what? So this is future. You are trying to art. This is art, being able to create something.
Yes, and from this word, create is a creative society, to create something, not to destroy, but really to create. And also, like when we start, talking about the machines and technology, we also create it. So it's just from our creativity we make such a invention or sort of this. So I think like creativity is not only about art, but actually it's like a stimulate for us this creativity, but also in science, like in all spheres we should be such creators to do not like again take but really create and doing something great. Thank you
Yeah,
so
a
much.
tree, an apple tree is
Yeah.
always creating that perfect apple every time it comes on that tree. It's like it's perfect in its creation. The nature is so perfect in its creation,
Yeah, so
and
I
that's
think
what
it,
humans are supposed to
yeah,
do. That
it's in our
create
nature
perfect.
also to create. Yeah,
That's right.
totally agree with you. So in such case, how do you envision creative society, like in global meaning? How do you see society where every person would live comfortable?
So I'm going to repeat myself. I'm going to repeat what I said, that if you make people around you happy, then you're a happy person. So basically, creating happy space for others, always being positive in your mind, being respectful to each other's thoughts and opinions and belief system, being respectful to each other will bring that society. You just have to be good to each other and be positive. That's it. And once your emotions are taken care of, you're a happy person, then you will, if you're a happy positive person, you will bring that happy and positive society.
So you mean that
And
creative society start with
yes,
each of
you
us,
have to,
like mhm.
each of us have to start it with a family first. Like if I can be happy and I can pass on that to my children, my husband and his parents and my parents, so just from there it'll extend to other branches.
Yeah, right. And in the article about the 8 foundations, it is also written that human is a fundamental unit of the society, right? So it also means that everything starts from a human, from each of us. And it's very
That's
good
right.
that you also mentioned the responsibility of a person before himself and the society. Thank you very much,
Absolutely.
Tarang. And as we're talking about the creative society, we should mention 8 pillars, 8 foundations of the creative society. And before we talk about them in details, in particular, let's watch a short video of how these 8 foundations were formed.
This Creative Society project was born by the initiative of the people themselves. After we carried out many social surveys, interviews, conferences, and well, we talked to many people really all over the world. These 8 foundations of the Creative Society is the result of the desire, the demand of the people themselves, because they talk about it. They tell us how they want to live, where, in what world, in what kind of society they want to live, what values are the most important for them. And after analyzing everything, we understand that yes, there are these 8 foundations that now we can share with everybody. It is a complex of values of each person in this world.
Since
So,
the first foundation of the creative society is the human life. So how do you see education when this foundation, human life, is implemented in society?
So education process. Are we talking in respect to the society, creative society?
Yes, yes. Like education as a whole, as a sphere. So how it maybe will change or how it will function if this human life, this foundation will be implemented in our society.
So that's a very I think the education systems have forgotten to teach moral values. It only focuses on talking about the subject that they're teaching. So I think the schools need to teach the basic value system. And I also, I want to mention here that how you believe, the first point you mentioned here, that human life in your eight. So I want to bring here this topic, that human life, how can we teach us? And art is all about building. Art is all about, so you're making infrastructure as art, architectures are artists, interior designers are artists. So it's all, they're creating, building a world so they can bring it on a positive note.
And when we hear the word art, creativity, we always mean something positive, something bright, something good. So I think it's not in the nature of art to show something ugly or something negative, in fact, as it is supposed to be in the creative society, right? And this, like, let's say, creative art, right, as it is supposed to be. So what changes will it bring to the society, and how will it add to the creative ideology in the society?
So the process is, be the role model, pass it on, do whatever you can to build the society. And I would say that in the schools, the education system should make it part of their curriculum, where they're talking about these things. Because today the bigger challenge is handling your emotions. Bringing People are facing, if they are not able to manage their emotions, they are not able to do anything. So instead of teaching only subjects, it's very important today that schools in the curriculum, they something like yoga, which teaches you how to balance your mind and body together. So they have to bring in things like those in everyday curriculum. They have to bring in classical music. People, they have to bring in other things for children. So children say, no, I don't like it, but they have not even tried it. The school should be place of experimentation. People should hear different languages to understand whether they like it or not like it. So that's the whole idea of Artist 360. There, when students come in to me, I have created programs which are just 5 sessions each. So come and experiment, do these 5 sessions, understand the subject, and discover whether you like it and would you like to continue. So the schools and colleges have to create platforms where students come, experience, experiment, and learn and move on. It should be not focused on one or two specific things. There has to be more options, and the students need to be exposed to more options in schools and colleges. And I think colleges should actually include actual work. If they're teaching something, the students, while doing the college, should be able to make their portfolio while doing the college, so that as soon as they finish college, they can show it and get to work. Usually what happens, they finish the college, then they struggle for 5 years, 10 years to create a portfolio to show to somebody that this is what can I do. I think this should happen within the college, where they actually create something. The portfolio, if they're into architecture, they should be able to make buildings and show that, oh, this is what I've done. So I think it should happen within the college coursework. They should be prepared in college for outside world, which I don't think happens in colleges.
Yeah, so it's like you're just saying how it's actually important, to make such condition in atmosphere, like in educational process, when person could really like rise up and develop the best talents, the best ability what person actually has. And the most important, to rise up a real human, because you also at the beginning you say how it's important is human values actually, and important to bring in education, and where the education to really promote it, and like with the help of education we could build such society with the human values in the center. So in your opinion, how do you think how it's important nowadays to change the format of our society from the consumer oriented to the creative one?
uh, Consumer society has been artificially created. People have been fed into their heads that that's a better way of living, or the countries have said, okay, take loan and buy things, but that's what you should do. I think it has been taught to be a consumer society, and I think if we want people to learn otherwise, again we have to start teaching them that this is not the way to this is not the real world. This is the world that is created for you, for somebody to make profit, and you should be working to more towards your growth, inner growth as a good human being, and your growth as for other, like education and your career. Then more the focus has come on more on materialistic things, which I think all of us should again be a role model. And I think children pick up things from there. um, be a role model to it, and don't get carried away when uh, people advertise them, and we just get carried away when big stars say, okay, this is what you should do, and we start doing it. I think we need to get smarter at that. That's it. I mean, that's what I would say.
Okay. So let's, we have prepared some short video from the conference which took place on December 20th, from the conference Creative Society United We Can, and it would be also after this actually cartoon would be interesting to talk with you on some topics. Sure. So would like to ask our technical support to show us this short video.
Elephants are habituated to a rope since childhood. First, they are tied to a tree, and an elephant calf trying to escape understands that the rope is many times stronger than him. Then, already being a grown-up elephant, he no longer even makes attempts to become free, because he understands that the rope, which is stronger than him, will win anyway. And when already a human the strength of a human and an elephant is incomparable, but an elephant still submits to a human and follows him with his head down, is the same in human society.
The whole point, imagine. An ordinary human, skinny and little, is leading an elephant on a rope. Why? Because the elephant believes that the rope is holding him. Friends, we have the same thing. Nothing is holding us, except our imaginary rope. And I would simply like to say, friends, let us stop being stupid elephants, and let's become humans.
It's actually just like you said, that's like
imaginary.
Yes.
Oh my God, okay, all right. Yeah, it's exactly what I said.
So really we are creating like illusion for ourselves, and like we are creating this rule of game what we have nowadays in society, and all of us are thinking that it's only one reality and we could live only like this, and like in this consumer format. But we are actually really like don't like feel comfortable in it, because there is so much stress of every person really go through this all consumer format, and it's everywhere in every country all around the world. So that's why, as you said, and in these cartoons, this is really to break this imaginary rope, to break these thoughts which we have nowadays that we could not do anything and this is like our destiny, we could like, so these thoughts, it's really negative. So and maybe you have also some interesting point of view, how it's easily to understand for every person that every person is valuable and we really could change the society together. So maybe you have some thoughts on such topics.
Yes. So first thing I spoke about how human life is so important, like you said. And another topic I wanted to bring in here when we were talking about college and schools is the thought process. I find that any institution, any kind, school, college, university, the person who builds that, the founders of that institute starts the thought process. That process flows through the through the teachers, and then it gets passed on to the students. That I've seen everywhere. So somehow, some way or the other, when you're making this creative society, you are passing on the idea of being good human being and how to help others and taking care of yourself, right of speech, right of freedom, right of knowledge. So it all it all fits well so together, and sometimes you sort of get a balance. So I'm going to share one small thing with me. I always thought how our freedom fighters in our country, in many countries, a lot of freedom fighters have fought for their country. And I always used to think that, oh, they have done so much. What can I do for my country? So I never had the answer. I don't know what to, like. I'm talking like many years back. I mean, so I'm asking myself, they have done so much for my country. What can I do? So I was just talking to somebody, and the answer was so simple, that you being a responsible citizen to the country is your job to do. So it it connects the link. Sometimes we cannot understand that people talk about their rights. This is my right, I should get this, but nobody talks about responsibility. Rights come with responsibility. So I think that's a very important link, that very difficult to understand, especially, like, I didn't understand this earlier, but now I can understand. So it goes hand in hand. If you're talking about your rights, you should know about your responsibility.
And in this connection, so when you understand now that what you can do for your country, and what we all and each of us can do for the whole humanity, so that to inform people about this possibility, opportunity, this chance to build the creative society, what can each of us do to inform about this opportunity? As many people as possible.
Yes, that's right. So just see good, speak good, do good. That's the only thing is what we need to do.
And the idea how to inform other people about it's, I absolutely agree that it's very important to be responsible and to know your responsibility, to know what you are supposed to do and so on, and that's so to let other people know about it. What can we do?
So yes, so basically we need to find a way of, basically this understanding has to be clear, that with freedom comes responsibility. So if a child in a family or house, they're saying, I want freedom, there are responsibilities attached to it. In the university, college, school, you are saying you want these as a student, these are your rights, then they should also be taught these are your responsibilities. So basically it's the way of so both of them will go together. So I have seen these books that come, especially these American books. I mean, nothing against anybody, but it only talks about rights. And like, I've also taught as a kindergarten teacher. I've taught them to like a 3-year-old students that what are your rights. But I think it's very dangerous to just teach your rights, because in their mind they think, oh, this is my right and I should get it. So what I'm saying is that when you're talking about rights, the responsibilities should be, they should go together. They should be taught together. They should be spoken together.
Absolutely true. And like, would just like to mention that nowadays millions of people participate in creative society projects, and how they participate, filling the information about it, about such possibility everywhere, and also in song. And I just remember one interesting like quote from one song that participant actually create about creative society. And there is mentioned, so if you are living on the planet Earth, you're responsible for its destiny. So this is really what you're talking about, responsibility. Because what is consumer format? We are shifting our responsibility to others and waiting, sitting that someone will provide for us everything comfortable conditions. But what is creative society? When each person take this responsibility, about what you're talking actually, take this responsibility for our planet, for our society. Because really we are happy when all around us is happy. So that's what is important, to and responsibility. It's a really huge and great, I think, understanding for all of us. Then it's really when we take this responsibility, it's like level up for humanity, when we have this evolution. So that's what is creative society all about. And we really, as Tanya mentioned, we have this unique chance nowadays because of technology, because in history many people striving for such society and would like to build such society, but the lack of technology, and so that's why we can't be united, so it was impossible to create. But now really we have this unique chance to build such society together. This is what important thing, that because we could create it and build it only together. So that's why the informational stage is like the crucial one for now, because if not all people will know about it, that how we could build actually, it also would be impossible. So that's why it's so important. And now just would like to invite all the viewers and everyone to visit ALLATRA Unite's website, and there you can find the join us button. And this is actually the easiest step to do, and how to actually, by pressing this join us button, it's not just to become a member or something like this. No, it's just stop being silent and express in peaceful way how we want to live. So that's what this join us button meaning. So everyone in every country, all people should actually express what the society we actually choosing, and in what kind of society we want to live. What is our wish? So then it really would be easily to build it and to realize, because we will see what is our goal. Because united we can. That's how our conference last time were called, and it actually the truth of nowadays. Only in a team it's possible to do. So really, just really glad that you mentioned about responsibility, because every time this coming this understanding about creative society. So actually, how it will work, what is what we should do. So together in such interview, it really help us together to finding out these ways and solution and what is important to do. So thanks.
Yes, Anya, I absolutely agree with you. And I also like this phrase, united we can. I think it is so inspiring that we are not alone, we are together. And then it is always, everything is simpler when we are together, when we support each other and move in the collaboration. And when we are so like-minded people going together to the great goal, which is really worthy for humanity, to live in a society of happy people. And Mr. Rank, traditionally for our conversations, we ask our guests to invite other people, your acquaintances, people who would like to talk about the creative society, so that to continue this chain and to continue this working on this informational stage, because this is the basic we are building a foundation while informing people. So that is why it is so important. And if you can, could you please invite some people for our future conversations to talk about the creative society?
Absolutely, I would be more than happy. So I have 3 names in front of me. I have Dheer Jain, Shraddha Agrawal, and Raksha Chabria, and they are amazing people. And I would really like them to join you and talk about what they believe in.
It would be really wonderful. Thank you very much.
And
thank
also,
you.
We invite you to participate as a host of such interview, if it would be interesting for you also to have such experience and to have such conversation as a host as well.
Oh, so wow, that's an honor. Yes, thank you so much.
Because a creative society project is like our project, and everyone is welcome to participate in everywhere. So it's also possible.
Surely I'll let you know. Surely, I mean, it's an honor you asking me that. Definitely I'll get back to you on that.
Thank you so much. So
thank you.
Today's conversation, I think, very softly, very easy to go, and so so inspiring, so many interesting topic we actually discover. And I think for our viewers was interesting to watch us and to listen how the creative society from the educational sphere, how it looks like from your perspective, how do you see it? So thank you so much for such a lovely conversation. So maybe you would like something to wish to all people all around the world.
Yes, I would like to tell everybody that think positive and don't think that I did not receive this, people are not behaving good to me, he did not give me this. Think about what you can do for them. And I mean, be the giver. I mean, if you're not receiving, don't worry. I mean, you be the giver. You give everybody what you can, and that will bring everything to you. Believe me.
Absolutely. So we're just changing from taking to giving, and everything will be great. And we will together, as we are working for the benefit of society. So it's really will have some bring us to some great results. So thank you so much for such interesting conversation. So
Thank you,
see
Anna. Thank you, Tatiana. Lovely talking to you guys. Thank
see
you
you
so
next
much.
time. See you next time. Goodbye.
Surely, surely. Goodbye. See you.